Hi everyone, welcome to the highlights of the 2020 Kinsale Invitational Senior Scratch Cup. The event was very kindly sponsored by ODG Advisory, with just over 50 players taking part and perfect conditions on Saturday morning. The event was won by Kieran Mccarthy after a playoff, but before we got there was plenty of action from some of Ireland's top players, ranging from Irish internationals to local members around Cork. Killian Maloney got play underway at half 11, and joined in his group was Kieran Lynch, Ben Costello and Gary O'Flaherty. In the second group we have Eric Rumley teeing off here, followed by Dungannin's Harry McGeary. A little aggressive with the driver, not too common on the first tee here. And then we have Paul McSweeney, another local member from Kinsale. And lastly, Cathal Foley, who was on for a good display on Saturday. The third group out on Saturday consisted of last year's winner, Gary Ward, who I caught up with just before his round.
Yeah, it was good. I suppose even in the way it finished last year was a little bit interesting. But after all that's been going on the last few months, it's just great to be back out and looking forward to it really.
How excited are you to be back on the course competing in Kinsale?
Yeah, absolutely ecstatic really. The last few months have been tough for everybody, and I know a lot of people have just been kind of eager for a bit of competition. So it's good that we get to start it all here.
And there's a strong field here today. How is your game shaping up?
Yeah, it's been good enough lately, I suppose. Obviously, it's handy that the first event of the year is going to be at home, so we've all been playing here the last few months, so we definitely know the course like the back of our hands, obviously, so it'll be interesting. I look forward to it.
Do you feel added pressure as a defending champion in your home club?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I saw a few tweets there last night from a couple of pages kind of seeing will I defend it, do two in a row. So I feel a little bit, but I suppose being at home makes it a little bit easier, so I look forward to it.
Shortly after our chat, Gary was on the first tee, ready to defend his title. This great tee shot setting him up for a birdie on his opening hole. And followed by Gary, we have Fota Island's Greg O'Mahony. Next up, it's Paul Tobin of Tragic Future Clothing, so be sure to check him out on any of his social media channels to get some bargains on the latest fashion trends. Last but not least in this group was the impressive young Jack Murphy from Douglas Golf Club. Jack is 14 years of age and plays off a handicap of 3, and is certainly someone to look out for in the coming years. Then it was time for the featured group, and it was Cathal Butler, the organiser of this event, to get proceedings underway. Followed by Irish international and home favourite John Murphy, with many locals predicting it would be a walkover success for John. That opening tee shot would set John up for a birdie 3 on the first hole. And following John was his Irish international teammate Peter O'Keefe from Douglas Golf Club. The final player to make up this 4-ball was Cork Golf Club's Paul Buckley, playing off a handicap of +1. Pictured on the first tee here is Irish Seniors International from Douglas Golf Club, Carl Bourneman. Carl's group was made up of himself, Kieran Mccarthy, and then young big hitters Keith Fitzpatrick from Kinsale and Fota Island's David Howard. A nice contrast here, 2 shorter players off the tee followed by 2 big hitters. On the tee here is home player Kieran Mccarthy, who is bidding for a 20th Senior Scratch Cup and his 4th at Kinsale Golf Club. Moving on to the second green here, the index 2 par 4, we had Jack Murphy putting up the hill for a par, ultimately coming up a few feet short. And this was Gary Ward's birdie effort, a swinging left to righter down the hill. This putt eventually just creeping across the face of the hole. Paul Tobin, after hitting a very nice second shot in, was left with this left to righter for a birdie. One certainly that you have to pay a little attention to. And a very nice roll there from Paul, finds the centre of the cup. Jack here just tidying up and rolling in his 5-footer up the hill for a bogey 5. A solid putt with confidence from the young man. Gary also just tidying up for his par. Up the hill and a little left to right, not outside the hole. Moving on to the third tee, we have Jack Murphy here again. The third is the easiest hole on the course, going by index, but a little bit of trouble left and right for the bigger hitters. Following on from Jack is Greg. A great tee shot here would set him up for a par. Back on the second, Peter O'Keefe hit a tee shot down the left side, and this second shot for him coming up right, missing on the short side, so a tricky pitch left for him. And from the middle of the fairway, Paul Buckley Paul's approach shot here on a good line, but just coming up a small bit short of the green. Cahill, after finding trouble also off the tee, hitting his third from the fairway. This ball finishing up just on the left side of the green, spinning away from the hole. Last to approach this green is John Murphy. John catching this one just a little heavy, and the ball landing at the front of the green and spinning back onto the fringe. After missing this on the short side, Peter had a little work to do, as you can see, trying to get this one as high as possible, getting it to stop, but with that slope, that ball just running out to the far side of the green, leaving himself a 35 footer up the hill. Paul Buckley giving the crowd something to cheer about here with an excellent chip. Unfortunately for myself, I got a little excited with the zoom features on the new camera, so missing the ball, just catching the edge, but nevertheless a great chip from Paul. For his par up the hill, Peter has to hammer this one to get it up there, and the putt just missing on the right side. A similar line a little closer, John Murphy's birdie effort, finishing also on the right side. John taps in. Cahill with this par effort up the hill. A putt he can be aggressive with, learning from John and Peter. This putt unfortunately doesn't have the legs and finishes again a few feet short, leaving himself with a similar putt to Murphy, Jack Murphy that is, from the previous group. And Cahill rolls that one in there for a bogey 5, and Peter also cleans up here and taps in for his bogey on the second. The second group has made their way to the par 3 fort, 215 yards down the hill, but into a stiff breeze. Eric Rumley has left himself a little work. His putt for birdie here coming up quite a way short. Eric was 1 over to this point. Playing partner Harry with a tough little pitch here. Back into the window so he can be slightly aggressive with it. Played very well, leaving himself a short putt for par. Eric's par putt here. Just coming up short. Putt he could have been a little more aggressive with. This is Paul McSweeney's effort for a par. And he rolls that one in very nicely. Many of the players would take a par and run on that hole the way it played yesterday. Cahill Foley also rolls in after learning from his playing partner, while Harry tidies up here. Not a lot of break to this one. And he rolls that in for a par 3. Getting to the fourth tee is Gary Ward, the defending champion. Gary a little aggressive there, flying the green. Followed by Paul Tobin, who misses a little left. And Jack Murphy. Followed by Greg O'Mahony, who finds the fringe on the right side of the green. A long way for his birdie effort. After finding nearly the fourth tee box with his drive, Peter O'Keefe hits his approach shot into the par 4 third, while Paul Buckley's short left here is chipping on. A nice pitch just a few feet shy of the hole. Peter's birdie effort here. Just lacking a little bit of pace. He tidies up for a 4. John Murphy next to try his luck for birdie. Learns slightly from Peter, and he rolls that in, much to the delight of the crowd. Paul Buckley wrapping up for his par. Thought it was in, but unfortunately just catches the right lip and stays out. Followed by Cahill Butler, who rolls in for a birdie 3 also, making up for that lost shot on the second. As you can tell from John's reaction here, he wasn't best pleased with his tee shot on the fourth. Followed by Cahill Butler after his birdie. A nice shot in from Cahill. And Peter strikes one in there. before the final player of the group, Paul. Nice smooth swing. Good shot. As you can see, a big crowd following the guys here. This is Kieran Mccarthy's approach to the par 4 third. Ultimately coming up short, similar to where Paul Buckley was, but Kieran's ball just rolls into the sprinkler head. After a great drive, Keith Fitzpatrick is next to hit his approach. A lovely shot bouncing just past the pin and spinning in tight. A lovely shot. Carl Bourneman's next to play. His grab's a little quick and leaves himself with 20 feet. Followed by David Howard. A lovely low pitch along the ground. It's well played. After getting his relief from the sprinkler head, Kieran Mac puts up just a little shy of the hole. Next to try his luck is Carl Bourneman. This one with just a little too much pace missing on the right. Kieran McCarthy tidies up for his par before Keith Fitzpatrick rolls in his birdie tree. Photo man Howard tidies up for a par. Just catching up with the featured group here on the 5th hole. As you can see, they attracted plenty of crowds. Many people starved of that exciting competition, coming out to watch in fine conditions. Great to see so much support. First to play into the par 4 5th is Paul Buckley from the middle of the fairway. Lovely strike here from Paul, but unfortunately just a little left of the pin and it rolls just off the fringe. John forced to go high and aggressive over the tree. Finds the green. Here is Paul's chip. Just breaks towards the hole, leaving him a little bit of work for his par. Next is John to try for his birdie. A lovely roll on this one and it finds the heart of the cup. After a little bit of work left for his par, Cahill's one finds the right lip and just falls in. Lovely putt. With a little work left for his par, Paul Buckley is next. This putt unfortunately just slipping off to the right side and missing. Peter O'Keefe here to show off his big legs. Next approaching the 5th is Carl Bourneman. A fine shot here, finding the heart of the green. Before an aggressive tee shot from Kieran McCarthy sets up this pitch into the short 5th. Lovely shot just past the flag. Keith Fitzpatrick up the hill here for a birdie. Just misses on the right side. Before Carl Bourneman's try for a birdie tree. A lovely putt here across the green. And that rolls in just on the left lip. Great putt. David Howard's try for a birdie here also. This green fools him a little and he just misses out on the right hand side. Kieran is last to roll his birdie effort. A great putt here, finding the right half of the cup. Greg O'Mahony teeing off on the long par 4 7th. Great drive here that would set him up with 100 yards approach to the green. Here's Paul Tobin from the middle of the 7th fairway. Nice smooth swing. Jack Murphy's approach to the 7th green. And Greg O'Mahony last to approach the 7th green. This is Peter O'Keefe's drive up the 7th also. This one will find just the right rough. Paul Buckley coming up the 7th. Perfect drive, splitting the fairway. Before John Murphy and Cahill Butler both hit it up the left side, finding the trees.
That's Paul Buckley.
John first to play. You see the hands going. That one hits the tree and stays in play. And lastly, Cahill Butler, his turn to take it up the left side following John. Gary Ward rolling his par effort up the hill at the 7th. A lovely putt. Gary chuffed at himself as he salutes the crowds. Before Paul Tobin closes out also on the 7th. This is Paul Buckley's approach after a perfect drive. Little over 100 yards here. Nice pitch, just a little right of the flag from his angle. Next to play is Peter O'Keefe. Just coming from the right rough. And that finish is a little left of the flag for him. A nice shot in there. After advancing a second to here, this is Cahill's approach. A lovely pitch in. John Murphy with a putt right to left down the hill. Getting a little fooled by the slope here, thinking that it was going to be a little faster than what it was. Paul Buckley next to go for his birdie. Just misses a little on the high side. A good roll. Peter O'Keefe up the hill. Little left to right. And that just misses on the low side. He taps in for his 4. John to try his luck for par. Great putt down the hill. A testy little one. Cahill's putt for a 7 unfortunately just misses on the left. He taps in for a costly 8. Paul Buckley tidies up, makes his par. Here's David Howard's approach to the 7th. Lovely shot in, just a little right of the hole. Keith Fitzpatrick overshot the green, sighting a flyer from the rough. This superb flop shot from the white tee box on 8. Before Kieran Mac chips up, who also missed left. Just runs by the hole. Carl Bourneman putting down the hill just like John before him. Thinks it's a little faster than what it is. And that finishes up just short. David's putt down the hill. Just misses on the left side. He would tidy up for a par here before going on to birdie the par 5-8. Kieran's par putt just missed on the low side, so he makes his first bogey of the day. Keith Fitzpatrick for his par up the hill, a superb up and down. Down the hill and Carl Bourneman tidies up also. We move now to the 9th. This is Cathal Foley's 3rd shot to the par 5. Just running across the green. Before Paul McSweeney's 3rd shot. Tough shot there, hits the pin, runs a little bit by. Cathal with a superb little delicate chip here. Finds the heart of the cup for a birdie. Cathal will go on to shoot a superb 2 under par, score a 70. Eric Rumley tries his luck. Just lips out on the right lip. Before Paul rolls in his birdie putt also. Harry to tidy up. And he finds the centre of the cup. Jack Murphy with his 3rd shot from the bunker. Very difficult shot to the near pin. But that is well played. That would set him up for a birdie putt for 4. Greg O'Mahony, his eagle putt across the green. Just keeps going by the flag. Great first putt. Gary Ward to turn in 1 under par. An excellent birdie there. Before Jack Murphy rolls in this birdie effort. A great up and down from that bunker. Greg for a birdie. With his claw stroke, or claw grip even. Just missing on the low side, lipping out. And Paul Buckley for a par. Unfortunately, he doesn't go the way he'd imagined. And has to settle for a bogey 6. This is Cathal Butler's 2nd to the par 5 9th. A superb shot that finds the heart of the green. Next to play is Paul Buckley. Just tugs it little, and his finds pin high left of the green. Next to play is John Murphy. A superb second shot here. Starts it down the right side, lets it come back with the wind. A superb shot that rolls up a few feet from the flag to set him up for an eagle and turn in 6 under par. After birdies at 1, 3, 5, 8 and that eagle on 9. Peter to play his third shot after finding the trees off the tee. Just overclubs himself a little and a tough delicate pitch back. Paul plays his chip. Tough to get that one tight and it just rolls a little past. An excellent pitch. Not much green to work with. Peter really has mastered the short game during lockdown. Unfortunately, he hasn't mastered the art of carrying his pencil bag. This is Cahill's try for an eagle tree. A superb roll. Just missing on the left side. Not much work left in that birdie putt. The organiser of this event just back to golf. A brief spell out with a slight back issue. Delighted to get back competing. This is Paul's effort for his birdie. Just leaves it on the left side. Be a tap-in par for Paul. Before John has a tap-in eagle tree, much to the delight of the home crowd. 6 under after 9, many thinking that there's only one place that this title is going. The young player who plans on heading back to Louisville next week for his final year of college. Keith Fitzpatrick, another delicate chip, well played over the bunker, leaving himself a nice chance for birdie. Carl Bourneman putting up the hill. Superb putt for birdie 4 for Carl. Carl would turn in 1 over. It's David Howard's effort for a birdie. An excellent 4. That's back-to-back birdies for him before Keith Fitzpatrick rolls in this birdie effort. The 4th member of that group, Kieran McCarthy, rolls in also for a birdie to turn in 2 under par. This is Paul Buckley's birdie effort on the 10th. Again, fooled by the greens here. Peter O'Keefe for a birdie. That one coming up just short, so he taps in for a par to start the back 9. This is John's effort for a par. Unfortunately, John misses the hole and I missed the shot as there's little obstructions. Keith Fitzpatrick, the group behind with a superb approach shot into 10. This putt here, perfect. That sets up another birdie for the young man. Kieran McCarthy gets his back 9 underway with a birdie 3 on the par 4 10th. Before David Howard just misses his opportunity. So settle for a par. Carl Bourneman also unfortunately just misses his par effort after missing the green on the right side and chipping on. Here's Jack Murphy teeing off at the 13th. Unfortunately just overdrew that one into trouble before Paul Tobin hits a perfect tee shot. The tricky 12th green, par 4, John Murphy down the hill left to right. A superb effort. Cozies that one up just a foot or 2 shy of the hole. Cahill Butler with a tough putt down the hill here, swinging in right to left. It's an excellent putt from Cahill there, tough putt to judge. before Peter is right to lefter here for his birdie 3. Just after getting Cahill to move his marker. And that putt just rolls by the hole. Buckley from Cork Golf Club next to try his luck. This one just running a little shy of the hole. Lacking a bit of pace, he'll tap that in. Cahill rolls in his par. Before Peter tidies up, and John will be next to tidy up. The dogleg left 13th. John hits a perfect tee shot, plays it right to left with the wind. Paul Buckley next to play, nice and smooth, middle of the fairway. Cahill a little more aggressive with the 3-wood. He'll advance that one up to 95 to 100 yards left before Peter O'Keefe with another perfect tee shot. 4 great tee shots from the group. First to hit his approach shots, Paul Buckley. Ball lying a little below his feet, playing to that front right flag, tucked in there. And that's an excellent approach. A little excited again on the zoom, but an up the hill putt for birdie. Peter next to play. Another great shot. Just a little bit too much spin on that one, but he leaves himself another chance. John from the left side of the fairway again catches this one just a little heavy, and it finds the bunker short right. A little bit of work to do for his par. Cahill the final to play, just inside 100 yards, and this one finds the heart of the green. Nice safe shot. John splashes out of the bunker, generates quite a bit of height and spin on that one. A lovely shot. Cahill rolls his birdie effort, an outside chance, just a little left of the hole. Before Peter tries his luck. This one just missing on the left side, so he'll tidy up for his 4. Before Paul Buckley tries his luck, and that's a great birdie 3. Nice putt up the hill from Paul. Cahill's next to tidy up for a par. He rolls that in. And lastly, John follows it in to make it a birdie and 3 pars for this group. Keith Fitzpatrick, aggressive with the driver off 13. Perfect drive. Followed by David Howard, just before he dives on the ground after a shout of 4. Carroll's first tee shot found trouble. This is his second. And Kieran McCarthy, perfect drive. Just after coming off that birdie on 12, he would go on to birdie 13 and 14. And here is Peter as he sets himself up for a birdie on the 14th. A lovely approach shot in. This is John's try on 14 for birdie. Just missed on the right side. Before Paul Buckley is next to try his luck, just coming off the fringe. Paul after that went straight away. Unfortunately, not to be back-to-back birdies. But Peter rolls this in. An excellent putt for birdie 3. And great applause from the crowd out following these guys. This is John's approach into the 15th. He'll miss this one just pin high left. Next to play is Cahill Butler. He'll also follow John left. This one just a little further left though. Here's Paul Buckley's effort. Tough par 3 here, index 15. Here's Paul's chip. Goes the high route. Just carries a little too far. Bit of work downhill right to left for his par. Here's John's chip. Just catches a little heavy, leaves him short up the hill for his par also. Peter, after finding the trees, advanced it to here, and a superb, delicate little chip leaves him with a tap-in bogey 4. Here is Paul's try at par. Just coming up short. Cahill next to try his luck for par. Just escapes the right side. Very unfortunate not to hold that one. Paul will tap that in for a bogey 4. And John up the hill here for a par. 4 under for this point, 2 over in his back 9. Just escapes on the right side. And that means that all 4 players bogey the shortest hole on the course, the par 3 15th, which is index 15. Peter taps in for his bogey 4. John goes aggressive with the driver on 16. Just loses it a little to the right. Peter with a 3-iron. Perfect down the middle. Followed by Cahill. Just down the left side. Here is Kieran McCarthy, just off 3 birdies on the bounce. Not happy with this one. Turns away in disgust as he misses on the left side. Hits the trees. Keith Fitzpatrick hoping to fade this one in there. He also misses on the left hand side. Bourneman. Nice and smooth. Final video before the battery goes in the camera. He finds the middle of the green. Moving on to an iPhone now. And David Howard. Nice chip up next to the flag. Carl from the centre of the green tries for birdie. Just escapes him. Before Kieran up the hill after that chip, looking for a par. And he just lets that one slide by. He slips back to 5 under par through 15 holes. This is Paul Buckley's approach to the 17th. After a superb drive down the middle of the fairway, Cahill's pawed across the green. An excellent try. Paul's chip from just off the back. Nice touch. And here's John up the hill for birdie. He needs this one badly. And it just falls in the front door. Peter, after a superb approach shot, just misses this one on the left hand side. Not best pleased with that one. Before Paul tidies up for his par. Cahill with the same. Here's Keith Fitz trying his luck for birdie across the 16th. Things are getting tight now with the leaderboard. John is 5 under going up 18. Carl is here for par on 16. Just misses on the right hand side. For David Howard tries his luck. He rolls that in there for a nice birdie 3 on 16. Here's Kieran McCarthy after a fantastic approach shot. Bounces straight back from that bogey on 15 with a birdie at 16 to get back to 6 under. The par 5 18th. Short hole. Peter O'Keefe's second shot just comes up short left. It's a good shot from the trees. John, after a bit of club indecision. It's a fine shot. Right into the left side of the green. Here is Peter's delicate little chip. Plays it very nicely. and he rolls that up for a tap-in birdie to finish and sign for a 1 under par 71. Cahill with a long-range eagle effort. Superb roll coming down from the top tier, and he cozies that one up to 1.5 feet from the hole. John will have an opportunity here to learn from Paul's putt. Paul is up first, also coming from that top tier. This eagle try. Just staying out on the left side. John, after learning from Paul, doesn't use it to his advantage. Leaves it on the left side for a tap-in birdie 4 to break the course record, sign for a 66, and wait in the clubhouse for Kieran McCarthy to play the final 2 holes. Superb 66 from John. Paul unfortunately just lets his birdie effort slide by, and he closes with a par. Cahill, after moving his ball back, he rolls that in for a birdie also. Good finish for Cahill. The 4 players, all good friends, finish out their round after playing in some fine conditions as we go back to the 17th, and Keith Fitzpatrick has his birdie try, just miss. Kieran McCarthy should have learned from Keith, but unfortunately could not capitalise, and his birdie effort just slides by to leave him at 6 under par, tied with John going up the last. Here is Carl's effort, and he rolls that in for a lovely birdie on the index 1 17th. David Howard, after a fantastic drive to 80 yards, cannot capitalise on that, and that's his par effort sliding by as he bogeys 17 to fall back to level par. Keith Fitzpatrick tidies up for his par. There it is, Kieran McCarthy, and here's Carl Bourneman. Perfect drive up the 18th, followed by Kieran McCarthy. Super drive up left half of the fairway before the big hitters close out. David Howard really goes after that one. Up the left side, just catches the rough. And Keith Fitzpatrick finally to go with a superb drive right up the middle. This is Carl's second shot, going in with a hybrid to the par 5. Kieran McCarthy needing a birdie here to win part for a playoff. Not his finest effort, but it's fine. Keith going for the green in 2. After that superb drive. That one just a little right of the flag, but finds the front of the green. Here's David Howard from the left rough. And that will come up just short of the flag. Kieran needs an up and down here for the outright win. Just leaves a little short, catches the rough. Here is David's chip. Superb touch. Rolls right up next to the flag. Kieran McCarthy here for a birdie. Just comes up shy of the hole, so he'll tap that in to tie the course record and John Murphy at 6 under par. And a playoff will happen now. Here is Carl for eagle. His effort coming up just short. He'll tap that into close with a birdie 4. Before Keith Fitzpatrick tries his luck for eagle. Just escapes on the right. He'll finish with a birdie 4 and sign for a 74, 2 over par. And here is David Howard. This tap-in birdie ensures that he'll sign for a 1 under 71. A great score. And just after David's round, I caught up with him.
At 1 under 71, David, how good is it to get back into competitive action?
Yeah, it's very good to get back into it. It was struggle around, but it was alright. A few three butts. Not bad though.
Do you see positives to take in for the rest of the summer?
Definitely, yeah. Not much competition to be happening inside of, but for us there, be good like.
Well, best luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks very much.
After John Murphy and Kieran Mccarthy both signing for course record 6 under 66s, it was headed for a 3-hole playoff. John won the coin toss and was first to tee off, hitting this one just down the right side, leaving him about 115 yards or so to that back right pin. And next up was Kieran, a little more aggressive. As you can see, a great crowd stayed for the playoff between the two Kinsale players. A great shot from Kieran, also just down the right side. First to approach the green was John. This one just carries over the flag and settles on the fringe about 30-35 feet away. Next to play is Kieran. Similar line, and he gets just a little closer than his opponent. First to putt across the green is John. An excellent effort here. Just stays out. And Kieran certainly had a look at that and had a chance to learn. Unfortunately for him, he cannot capitalise, and it just rolls over the right edge. Both players par the first as they move to the second playoff hole. Long par 4. John with a perfect drive down the middle splits the fairway. Before Kieran steps up and hits one down the left side. Just stays in play. He'll be in the left rough, considerably further to the green than John. So with 220 yards to go, he's using a hybrid. First to play. And a superb shot from there finds the front of the green, leaving him an uphill chance for birdie. John playing from the middle of the fairway to that front right flag. Tough to get close to. And this one hangs out just a little to the right, leaving him with a tough little chip. But again, you can just see the crowds that have stayed out to watch this. A great turnout for one of the first Scratch Cups of the year, and people really enjoying it. So here is John. A real tough chip to get close. Not much green to work with, and it's all sloping away. Plays it superbly, just it trickles down. Lips out on the right side, much to his disbelief, but a superb shot. Advantage Kieran now as he's putting up the hill. Little left to right for birdie. Again, he can't capitalise. Just rolls by the hole, so he'll tap in for his 4. And John's left to it. No more than 5 feet for his par. And John rolls in his. They move to the third tee. John first to play up the hill into the evening sun. This one's heading right. Kieran with the more conservative option, hitting 3-wood. Catches this one a little off the toe, but it finds the middle of the fairway. advantage Kieran after this one. John hits a provisional, but as we'll find out, there was no need for that. Kieran's first to play from the middle of the fairway. This one again coming up just short, and finally in that same sprinkler head as what he had in the morning. John gets his ball from the heavy rough, where it finishes up just pin high left on the fringe. And this is Kieran's effort just off the green. Quite a bit of left to right coming up the hill there. It's a nice effort, just a few feet short. John has a tricky putt down the slope here, and extremely quick once it gets onto the green. Tough to get the pace right in this one. You can sense the occasion here, everything getting just a little quieter, a little more eye for detail. And John just gets a little aggressive with this one as it takes off down the slope, leaving him with a little tester for his par. Both players a little bit of work to do on the final playoff hole of the 3-hole playoff. If they can't be separated here, it will go to sudden death. John will be first to putt, really taking his time with this one. Just misses on the left side, so he's left the door open for Kieran to finish it here. This putt to win the 2020 Kinsale Senior Scratch Cup. Kieran can't capitalise on that opening, and after both players shooting tremendous 66s, it looks like no player wants to win it now as we head to the first sudden death playoff hole, which will be the par 3 fourth. John first to play. The pin is tucked back left here, tough to get close to, and John's shot just comes up short on the fringe. Kieran out with the hybrid, just looking to get this centre of the green. A great strike, and takes dead aim for the centre. Safety. John will be first to putt. It was very tough again to get the pace on this one right. It will break quite a bit from left to right over that slope also. Does a good job on pace. It's a nice putt there. There's still a little bit of work to do for his par, but he'd be happy with that effort. Kieran with an outside chance here for birdie. Takes his time, settles himself. With that long putter, rolls it up very nicely. Just sneaks past the left edge, but he'd be very happy with that. A tap in par. Pressure back on John. This to extend the match to a 5th playoff hole. One second look at it. Just ever so slightly left to right if anything. Starts on the left edge and stays there. Just missing out. Kieran Mccarthy, after 4 playoff holes, is the 2020 Kinsale Invitational Senior Scratch Cup champion for the 4th time and his 20th Scratch Cup overall.
Huge congratulations, Kieran. A great 6 under par and then a victory in a 4-hole playoff. How did your round go?
Started off sluggish. You know, one bogey, one birdie in the first 5-6 holes. Then birdied 8 and 9 to turn 2 under. John was playing in front of me, so I heard he eagled 9 to go 5 or 6 under. So I knew I was playing for second place basically. And then things started to turn around on the back 9 and came back in 31, 4 under. John faltered a little bit, just managed to catch him.
And when did you realise that you were really in contention?
On 14 I hit it to about 10-15 feet and I heard John was on 15 and I heard he bogeyed it to go to 4 under and I held the putt on 14 to go to 6 under, so I knew then I was 2 in front.
And to win in a playoff, how sweet was that?
Amazing. You know, to beat John, you know, he's sitting at 40 yards past me, like, you know, I was actually shocked. Probably should have finished it on the 3rd, missed the short putt, but happy enough to get it done on the 4th.
Huge congratulations, Kieran. Great golf.
Thanks very much.
That completes the Kinsale Senior Scratch Cup for 2020. I'd just like to say a huge thank you to Kinsale Golf Club for giving me the opportunity to film this great event, and also for all the players for being so accommodating, and a huge well done to Kieran Mccarthy on a superb 66 and winning after a 4-hole playoff. So well done, Kieran.